everyone, and welcome to my Thriller-A-Thon reading vlog. Sorry if you can hear the heat running in the background. I really try to be professional. I even turned on my lighting, but something will always fail me, so sorry about that. But I meant to film a TBR video for this and like announce that I was participating in it, because right now I'm just like silently participating because I didn't announce it on any of my platforms, but alas, time escaped me and I wasn't able to film that TBR video, so I'm just gonna, participate without anyone knowing. That's fine. As per usual, it is 6:30 at night that I am finally starting to vlog and also pick up a book for the first time. I haven't picked up a book all day. I literally got up at 5 o'clock in the morning to then drive to the mall where I work, but also where the Disney store is, which happens to be right across from the store that I work at, so that I could stand in line outside of the Disney store for 3 hours until 10 o'clock when they opened, so that I could get this limited edition, let me see if I can turn you around, Cinderella doll. So if you're not a big Disney fan like I am, then you probably don't know that sometimes they release these like really special dolls. They're like really big in size comparison. That's how they're compared to a pop. But they only make, it says right here on the box, they only make a couple thousand of each doll. So this particular one, I couldn't really focus in on it, but they only made 5,200 of them. So I was able to get one, and my particular Disney store only got 7 of them in total, so that's why you have to get there really early to wait in line to get a ticket, because if you're first in line then you can get it. But like, I was really nervous when I got there because there were many people ahead of me, and I knew that this particular store only got 7 of these dolls. So when I saw all those people ahead of me, I thought, I've completely lost my chance on getting it. But turns out they also were releasing this Minnie Mouse collection, and a lot of those people were coming for that. So there were only 2 people ahead of me that wanted the doll, so I was the 3rd person to get this doll at my store. So yeah, that's what I spent most of my morning doing, and then after that I had to go to work until late in the afternoon. So now I'm here to finally start reading and vlogging. Hopefully this vlog won't be too boring. I'm not going to film too much every day, and I probably won't have a lot of montagey bits, because when I do that they tend to be a bit long, and then I have to cut this into like multiple vlogs, and I kind of just want it to be a week-long vlog, make it nice and simple for myself. So yeah, let's have a look at my TBR, which I don't actually have all the books to yet. One of them is out there, and the other one I'm still waiting for from the library. I don't actually remember if I've ever participated in a Thriller-A-Thon before, but I know I really wanted to this round. 1, because I love thrillers, obviously, but 2, because the challenges are set up like a game of Clue, which is one of my favorite games ever. And so as soon as I saw that, I was like, I have to participate in this. And basically the way that it works is that when you read a book for each one of the little sections, I'm gonna explain this really stupidly and probably in a way nobody will understand. Watch Harriet Rosie's video if you want to hear it explained in a smart manner. But basically it's like when you read the different books for the different things, you pick which one is your favorite out of each category, and then that's how you like solve the murder. So I was completely impressed with that, and I was like, I have to participate in this now. So let's go have a look at my TBR. So this is not only my TBR for this read-a-thon, but also just kind of for the month. So this book is on my TBR for this read-a-thon, as is this one and this one. So I honestly forget which challenges these all complete. I'll just talk about them when I actually finish the book. And then I also plan to read Gone Girl, which is out in my living room. And then I have You by Carolyn Kepnes, I think is the author, coming in from the library, but it's not here yet. So I think I'm going to get started with either of these 2 books. I'm not sure which one I want to read. I feel like maybe I should start with this one because I have off tomorrow, so I feel like I should pick up a slightly chunkier one and just spend all of tomorrow trying to read it. So yeah, I think I'm going to start with this book. So I'm only about 35 pages into the book, but I'm feeling really tired, so I think I'm going to go to bed and pick this back up in the morning. I am super bad at keeping my calendar up to date because I just love the pictures so much that I like to keep them on there for a couple of days, but it is now Sunday, the 16th of February, which makes it day 2 of the Thriller-A-Thon. So today I'm just having a super chill day. I've got my hair up in a messy bun, I'm wearing a cozy Spider-Man sweatshirt, and I'm basically just dedicating the whole day to reading and relaxing. So I am on page, I'm about 75 pages into The Invited, which I actually looked up on Goodreads, and turns out more people consider this to be horror than thriller. But I think it still works for this read-a-thon. So, like I said, I'm only 75 pages into it, so it's still pretty early on to really explain my thoughts on this book, but right now it's kind of boring. I'm intrigued enough to continue reading, like I'm not going to DNF it, but I'm kind of bored right now. Basically, we're following this couple that have decided to move to the country, so they purchased land and they're currently building a house, but the land is rumored to be haunted, so there's like this strange stuff that kind of starts happening, and like only the wife notices it and the husband just thinks she's being paranoid or whatever. It's a kind of stereotypical, which might also be why I'm not super into it right now, but hopefully it will get a little bit better. So yeah, this is what I'm currently reading, and I'm just going to carry on reading it for the rest of the day. So it's much later now, and I'm a little more than 150 pages into The Invited, and I'm into it a little bit more, but still not as much as I wish I was. It's very much like a kind of just like stereotypical ghost story, I guess. It has a lot of the same tropes as a lot of other ghost story books and movies that I have seen, and so I think that's why I'm a little bit bored, just because I feel like I've read about this or watched it so many times, so it's a little bit stale for me, but I'm still kind of enjoying it. Not gonna lie, I do enjoy a good classic ghost story, and I'm really hoping that like the ending will have some kind of unique twist to it that will differentiate it from all of the other ones. But I'm not hating it by any means. I feel like I've been very meh about this book, but I am enjoying it. Otherwise, I would have DNF'd it by now. So I like it enough to keep reading it. So yeah. This will probably be my last update for tonight, as I have to do some like laundry and boring stuff. And other than that, I'm just going to keep on reading this book until I basically fall asleep tonight, because I preferably want to finish it tonight, but I just know that's not going to happen, so I'm just going to try and read as much of it as possible. Hello everyone, so it is now the next day, which makes it day 3 of the read-a-thon, and I just got home from work and ate dinner a little bit ago. I didn't get out of work until 6 o'clock in the evening, and so I came home, ate dinner, and now it's a little bit past 7, so yeah, finally I can get around to reading because I did not read much at all last night. For some reason, I was just really in the mood to play The Sims last night, but I told myself you can't do that, because whenever I play The Sims, time completely gets away from me, and next thing you know, it's like 3 hours later. So I was like, you can't play The Sims. Even if you say you're just going to do it for a half hour, you will end up not reading at all and playing it for the rest of the night. So I ended up not playing The Sims, not reading, but instead spending my night watching YouTube videos of other people playing The Sims. So I don't even know. So needless to say, I didn't get a lot done, but I did read a little bit this morning, so I'm now 185 pages into this book, and I still kind of feel the same way about it. It's becoming a little bit more intriguing, and I feel like as the story goes on, it does kind of differentiate itself from some other classic ghost stories, so it's a little bit more of its own thing now, but I'm still not as into it as I wish I was. So yeah, I also don't really feel like it's a horror. It hasn't been particularly thrilling nor horrifying. It's, like I said, just kind of like a classic ghost story, which is just, you know, it's a little creepy, but it's really nothing that bad, and I do wish it was it had a little bit more of an oomph to it to make it either more thrillery or more horrifying. Now that the night is almost over, I am finally going to start reading and see how far I can get into this book. As I said yesterday, I'd really love to be able to like finish it now, but I just don't see that happening. So we will see, and I will update y'all later. Hi again. So it is now the next day, which I think makes it day 4 of the read-a-thon, and I am still reading this book. It's taking me a lot longer to get through than I anticipated. I think I'm like about 250 pages into it, which makes me about 100 pages from the end. So tonight, I probably didn't mention that it's like really late in the evening because I had to go to work again today, and then I came home, ate dinner, and now here I am. So tonight I'm actually going to read this out in my living room because there's a lot less distractions in there than there is when I'm reading in my bedroom, because I've got like my laptop, my phone, and all that, so I can just leave all that behind and go read in the living room. and see how far I get into this book. Hi guys, so it is the next night, which makes it day 5 of the read-a-thon, and I just got home from work and I changed into my PJs so that I could be comfortable while I talk to you about The Invited, which I finished last night. So as per usual, I'm sorry if you can hear the heat in the background. Hopefully it isn't too loud, and if it is, pretty sure it's gonna turn off soon. But anyways, it's really quite difficult for me to put my thoughts into words for this book because it's not a bad book by any means. Like, I didn't feel like it had bad writing. I thought the writing was actually very good. Overall, it's not like a bad story. It kind of had a twist at the end I wasn't expecting, but I also just found myself to be kind of bored throughout the whole thing, and I don't really know why. It might be because it is like a kind of slower paced book and it just kind of drags a little bit. I also feel like they always say that you should like show, not tell, and I feel like there were a lot of parts in this book where it was telling and not showing, and I think that's another reason why it might have dragged on a little bit. And there's also like this part of the storyline where basically, like I said, I think I mentioned like kind of what it's about, but there's like this couple that buy this property that's rumored to be haunted, and so weird things start happening, and the wife starts to like research who used to live on the property, and they find out that it was like this woman that everyone thought was a witch, and she ended up being hung, and she's trying to like track down the woman's like descendants. And so one of the like main mysteries throughout the whole story is like who this woman's descendants are, and like trying to track the different generations down. And I don't know if it was supposed to just be a mystery for the character or if she was trying to make it a mystery for the reader as well, but I think it was very obvious throughout the entire story who it was, so that just completely took away from that part of the story. And also, like I said before, a lot of people considered this to be horror rather than thriller on Goodreads, and either way that you look at it really, whether it's a horror or a thriller, the thrillery elements, the horror elements, all of the above were just very underwhelming for me. And it could just be me because I have read and watched a lot of horrors and a lot of thrillers, and I feel like after you've seen quite a lot of them, you feel like you've seen them all at that point, and it's a lot harder to be impressed by one, and you just kind of become, I guess, a little desensitized to it. So it could have just been me feeling very underwhelmed by it because I just feel like I've already seen it so many times maybe, and I guess if you're maybe a little bit newer to the genre it would have more of an effect on you. But yeah, overall, like, it wasn't a bad book, and like I enjoyed my time reading it, but there were just a lot of points where I just kind of felt bored and my mind would wander a bit. There was also, like I said, that mystery element that I just thought wasn't very good, and it was very obvious who it was, but there was a twist at the end that I didn't see coming, so there's that. So I'm just kind of like, I don't really know what I think about this book, but I feel like I would personally recommend it to anyone who's maybe a little bit new to either the thriller or the horror genre. So yeah, let me quickly pull up the challenges for this read-a-thon to find out which challenges this book completed. So the first challenge that this book completed was a thriller with the creepiest cover. Obviously, this probably isn't the creepiest cover for a thriller, but it's the creepiest cover for all the thrillers that I currently have on my TBR. It also works for the challenge of reading a new to you author, and it also works for the challenge of the newest thriller on your TBR, because this was the last thriller I added to my Goodreads. So that's 3 challenges out of 9 completed, and 1 book out of, I think, 4 on my TBR completed. So I'm actually going to end this reading vlog tonight. My battery is flashing at me, so I really have to wrap this up. I think I mentioned at the beginning that I wanted it to just be a week-long reading vlog, but I actually realized that I don't think this read-a-thon is 7 days long. It's actually 9 days long. That's just a little bit too long for one whole vlog for me personally, because I tend to ramble a lot, and I'm sure this video is probably already long enough as it is. So I'm going to wrap this one up here and pick it up again tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!
You hear that, Samson?